Yeah, Nick, it's been a long time since I haven't really spoke to you, but, what I want to talk about is my circumstance all the way around. As I read the law in the Constitution, it says that everybody have a right to equal protection under the law. And so what I'm looking at here, in the Bill of Rights, Article 1, Section 3, under the Equal Protection Clause, it says that, we have that right. And under Article 1, Section 3A, it says that right shouldn't be infringed. But, I'm looking at here in Texas, it seems like that ordinary people, facing circumstances under this DA office and under this department in Killeen, they're being allowed to cover up issues when it's dealing with the law. Now, these people came to my house without a warrant. They had no idea what they was doing in the Killeen Police Department because they wasn't the one who claimed to obtain the warrant. But anyway, they attempted to enter my house while I slept. And the law is clear. It's a stand your ground state. And if the police don't announce themselves, you have a right to stand your ground because you believe and when your life is in danger, you have a right in your own home somewhere where no crime was reported to have been committed. And that also gives you the right to the castle doctrine because the only way you can claim castle doctrine is there's a crime has been committed at that location. And so I have the castle doctrine in my favor. I have the stand your ground in my favor. And they violated every liberty that I had. But since the officer who called the warrant was a privileged person, they were going to cover for him, and they were going to cover for the actions of these people. So it leaves the unfortunate, less fortunate people here in this town in Killeen without a voice and without protection from this rogue operation that took place at my apartment over there that night, early morning. And so they have all the information. They have all the reports. They have everything to prove my innocence. But they're suppressing that and hiring an attorney that will go along with the prosecution and the judge to convict me. And so it's so hard to be a man and to know your rights and to see that these people who's supposed to be elected officials, who's supposed to protect your rights, take your rights away under circumstances when they decide that they very well can do. And so, like I said in my last conversation, we're going to be a land of law. Why? When it comes to laws protecting me, that the DA and the government officials take their finger and put their fingers on the scales of justice and deny me the right to even litigate my case in the courtroom by appointing lawyers that's going to listen to them or either fear them. You know what I'm saying? And so I've seen fear being injected into my lawyers in this courtroom, and I've said that these officers haven't answered lawful issue subpoenas, and they obstructed justice in my case, but they make you look like a fool when you talk to them because they expect you to be a fool. And so there's no excuse for the law, and so that's why so many people get caught up in the system, and when they try to appeal their cases, they can't raise these other issues because they basically muscling me out, bro. They basically muscling me out, stopping me by hiring an attorney like Carlos Garcia, who's going to actually stand in the way of justice for them, and he's doing it for a government, and they're paying him to do this, because that's government money that he's accepting. And he refused to even really meet with me because he knows he's wrong. I've seen him go in the DA office, come out and pass the judge a paper of the head investigator, Scott Meade, where it could have been redacted and everything. And I'm saying, hold up, these people are supposed to come in court and they're supposed to give their testimony, man, and you can't wait to the last minute we don't have the FBI full reports. And so, they all in this together, bro, and then they never had a Texas Rangers investigation on the officer who got shot. I don't never think that happened in Texas. But that's automatic. If officers get shot, that's a Texas Rangers investigation here in Texas. But since his shooting was ruled an accident, they moved him from that hospital to another hospital, then changed it to what they want to change it to, and then said we're going to serve him not as justice say, not as we're not going to give him the right to the laws and the Constitution, and we're not going to give him the reports, and he's not going to be judged by the law. But what we're going to do is we're going to judge him the way we want to judge him. And that ain't right. And I'm an American citizen, and I feel like I have a right to use the court without my attorneys being hired guns for the DA's office in the court. And this just hasn't happened in the 5 years. And they put all this false information out that I shot the police, but in all actuality, they came to my house without a warrant. They came to my house, and that what they did was, after they did it, they went back and got all this stuff done. They went back, they told them, just go back and do what you got to do, but go ahead, we're going to get him. So that's troubling to me, man. I want my right. I know my rights, and I know that my rights is not being protected, and they're constantly pushing injustice. And my lawyer keeps lying. He used about 3 years of litigating my case, trying to say that I'm going to get surgery, knowing there's no way that I'm going to get surgery, but that's what they're telling them to do. But just come in court and say that it's going to be surgery, he's going to get surgery, that way you don't have to litigate his case. And then he's putting effective motions in, and it's troubling, man, you know what I'm saying? And this has happened to other defendants before, where they've used this tactic, and that it gets so far down the line, and I've sent motions to the court several times saying that, there's issues that need to be took care of. And so it's tough, man, to be under a system where it's bias, and they're accusing me of killing the police through the media. And so the media is going to believe that even though the Canadian Daily Herald has the paperwork, even the police said they was in the crossfire. Even the police said one of the officers got killed, got shot under the stairs. And McNown report, those reports that they gave you, that you got from what's the name, those are cleaned up versions of the report, I believe. And I believe they're different from the report that I gave you, the reports I sent you when you look for McNown statements, because I've seen those statements, and I confronted my lawyer about those statements being cleaned up, being, issues, lines being taken out, and stuff like that. So, it's real terrible, man, and the lawyer can tell me that they want you and they want blood from you. So they want to use me as a political figure. Somebody was at home in his bed, and before they came to my house, hadn't sold nobody any drugs. It never says in the affidavit that I sold anybody any drugs. And they came to my house performing a rogue operation, and they knew that the DA would cover for them. And so it's tough, man, to know that, man. And so when they came there, they injured me. They injured my spine. I've been in jail for almost 7 years with an injured spine without any medical attention. They took me to the hospital over 4 or 5 years, never did anything, but I'm in their custody. But I can't get taken care of for something the police did. I'm partially paralyzed, and this man paralyzed me, put a gun in my mouth, used vulgar language, something that I won't even say. And under the law, that's considered a hate crime. But he got a slap on the wrist. So it takes investigation to come not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because they been asked for investigation, but they refuse to do so. And so, yeah, Nick, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. And then, you know, I have to deal with so they had me in the jail for almost 7 years, and they put a snitch back here. A jailhouse snitch. They moved him right across from me. That named Edwards. And he been writing the DA office in the court on me, and this is what I believe, because he go to the visiting screen, and then 20 minutes later he go out and he's going to see his lawyer. And I did have him helping me do some writing, but on the same token, I never told him nothing about anything concerning my case, you know. And so, yeah, so that's another issue. By a person being in jail, the DA's office, they keep you in jail a long time because they be trying to set you up like that, and they'll put snitches around you, and then they'll tell the snitches what to say. You know, yeah, so it's been tough, man. You know, it's tough. So I'm dealing with all that, you know what I'm saying? But I still, like, try to keep my faith, man, you know, and I continue to pray that I can get somebody to come in, man, and help investigate this case, because in Texas, they don't allow you to get information before your trial. But what they do is once they convict you in a case like this, they destroy your evidence. That's what one of my lawyers told me, Michael White. He said, listen, man, he said, they don't care about justice for you. You know, all they care about is the office. And so they're not going to let you use evidence, and you're just going to exonerate you because they're trying to convict you. And that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of the ones that was assisting them and coming up with all these warrants and these affidavits, you know, all this stuff, you know. So it's a big conspiracy, man, and people won't believe it. But this officer, when it comes to the police, bro, I'm an ordinary citizen, and they're not going to believe me over the police. But there's another thing. Even if the facts are in my favor, a jury has the right to disregard the facts and convict me just because they don't like me. You know, I read that in the law. I read that in one dude's appeal. Even if that's why it's important for those officers at the clean police department to get this right and should have got this right and not let be swayed by who I am or how I look. And, you know, they had a duty to be truthful about this matter, because there's no way that I can explain to 12 jurors who don't look like me and convince me they're going to dislike me just because of the case alone. Even though the case is a false case, it's been brought against me under false pretense, even though my rights were violated and I had a right to be in my home from unreasonable government intrusion. They came to my house, intruded on me, into my spine, stuck a gun in my mouth, used broken lane, and that's a hate crime. But they swooping over all that. So there's only one side of the story that's been put out, but the Clean Daily Herald got the whole story. I sent it to them early, and they told their reporter not to put it out. In fact, they were responsible for getting the gag order on my case. But it's tough, man. You know, it's tough, man. And I got people out there fighting for me. And so, you know, I'm just going to stay focused and just keep trying to get the word out and keep trying to get these lawyers and stuff to see that this case is bigger than they let it on to be, as far as like the corruption in the case. And so, you know, it's tough, you know. So that's really it. That's all I got to say.